I think about like business like a conveyor belt. So I send out marketing, and the faster I can convert my marketing dollars into profit, the faster I can scale. Okay. So if this is called the cash conversion cycle, and this is very present in any business, and we're an inventory based business. Make no mistake. Our whole business is taking inventory that we acquire and maybe it's acquiring or investment content. We convert that inventory into profit. The finished inventory is whatever we sell it for. And so our ability to reduce our cash conversion cycle increases our ability to scale, increases our profit. Because if I can sell something in from when I send the marketing out to when it close 90 days versus 180 days, I can do that twice in a year. I can make more money with the same amount of dollars that I put in marketing dollars. I can put more money in, I can scale quicker. And so we use that to define our sales process in my business. What does that mean? That means when a lead comes in, we get on the phone with them. Everything we can get on the phone with them as fast as possible. And we do everything we can to get them to a hell yes or a hell no as fast as possible. And we are very forthcoming about that. I am on the call with you to see if this would be a good fit for you and me. Essentially, is what we said. We can get into scripting later if it's helpful. But we are trying to get to a yes or a no very quickly. Why? Because the value of a lead to us decreases over time. If it takes me 15 calls to get a hold of someone, right, versus 2, that is more expensive to me because I'm spending the time of my acquisitions people to track this person down. Think about all of those amount of calls that we're making out to this person. That could take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, however long it takes you to make those 15 calls. We can convert those 15 calls to 2 calls or to 3 calls. We can close the gap between when we get this deal under contract or when we say, hey, we'll put you on follow-up and we'll reach out to you in 3 months. And so our acquisitions people can laser focus on the opportunity to come to our funnel and convert those opportunities quicker. So we're like, we got to move this conveyor belt as quickly as possible, A to Z, when these deals come in, because we want to get them to a hell yes or a hell no so that we can convert the opportunities, or we can say, hey, it's not to be a good fit. Maybe you're looking for market value. Maybe this is not the right fit at this current state. Maybe we can't do what we're looking to do here. And so we refer to someone else. Whatever it is, we want to get Brandon to that level, that hell yes or that hell no, immediately or as quickly as possible.
That makes sense. So you've got hell yes, let's talk pricing and let's negotiate a contract, and that goes to someone else. That goes to you, or that goes to the closer, or who's that go to?
Closers. Yeah. Sometimes I get in when it gets a little complicated, right?
Yep.
But I have closers. I have 2 closers.
And then you've got maybe it's not the right timing. They want market price, and you say, okay. And then you put them in a drip sequence, 3 months, 6 months, year long, and they're over time until the timing's right. What's a disqualification? Not the property owner, no road frontage. Like what types of things do you just kick them out of your CRM and don't deal with them ever again?
Sure. So exactly what most people would say, right? The wetlands, the floodplains, the non-buildable area, the unrealistic price, the person that's not the actual owner, all the things that you would think of would be detractors of what a motivated seller would be, we should eliminate them.
So unrealistic price, you don't touch with them in a year and see if anything changed?
For sure. We have a very extensive follow-up process of getting on top of that. And when someone has an unrealistic price, we will pitch a double and close. We will pitch a terms offer. We'll try to pitch those sort of opportunities, but there's this scale of motivation that we have to understand when we're having a conversation with a seller. Mm-hmm. That land is a very low motivation deal, right? Most of these sellers have owned these properties for 20 years. And they don't have a lot of motivation. They got a letter in the mail or they got cold call from landy leads and they're like, sure, I'll take it off or whatever. But if there's no clear motivation underneath the surface, I'm going to pay for my daughter's graduation. Really, I could use some money for an addition on my house. Thinking about going to Vegas and betting it all in black, buying Maserati, whatever their motivation is. If it's not detectable and we're not aligned on price, we're going to disqualify that person pretty quickly. And we're going to be very straightforward and forthcoming about this doesn't sound like it's the right deal. And that's why we disqualify people quickly. And then we say, okay, maybe we follow up in a month, follow up in 3 months. And that's a subjective gauge based on our salesperson. And they understand scenario-based follow-up. And so most people every 3 to 6 months have a life event, whether it's moving, whether it's, hey, my kid's getting into private school, I could use the money every 3 to 6 months, right? So we are following up with people in that time frame. And because we know a life event, if you think about your life, most people, stuff happens every 3 to 6 months. Crazy stuff happens, going through divorce, going through whatever. And you want to be on top of it. You want to be touching that person over that period of time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so it sounds like the main two things that you qualify for hell yes or hell no is, do they have motivation, and are they in the ballpark on price, or are they willing to negotiate on price? Those two things, then we're going to dig deeper.